This week, the NASCAR Cup guys race at Kansas. But before then, the Sylvania Cup takes to the track. Nothing new here, just willpower on the pole again. Teammate Austin Cindric starting outside. Jimmy Johnson, myself, and my dad Monty are all starting inside the top 5. This race will be a 450-mile event. Coming into this week, Will Power had won the previous 2 races. Looking to win 3 in a row, he's off to a strong start. This might as well be the shortest video I've ever posted for a race recap. The race goes all 300 laps caution free. Majority of the laps led by Will Power. Green flag pit stops were the only thing that shuffled up the lineup throughout the race. At lap 100, the top 5 stayed relatively unchanged, with the only one dropping outside of the top 5 was Monty Shangle back to 6th. Moving into the top 5, however, would be Aaron Rapp in the 97 car. I wind up running 5th overall at the time being. 2/3 of the way through the race on lap 200, the lineup has shuffled a little bit. Will Power still maintaining the lead over number 1 car Austin Cindric in 2nd, Jimmy Johnson 3rd, Aaron Rapp 4th, and Clyde Coker in 5th. The lead has grown exponentially, as you can see all the lap cars between the leader to 3rd place Jimmy Johnson. The longer the race goes, the sooner that Will Power has to pit on each green flag pit stop. This is happening because he's burning more fuel, running faster out front in the lead. The other cars that are in the second strategy are pitting about 5 to 10 laps later on each pit stop, meaning that they're gaining that much time, that many more laps on Will Power. Seems like the one driver that's gaining the most from these green flag pit stop strategies is Kara Carl. She winds up leading for multiple laps before coming back down pit road for green flag pit stops. This will be key if the race ever does come down to a fuel mileage race at the end. And on lap 280 out of 300, Will Power has to pit for his final pit stop. Kara Carl, having saved up some fuel, might be able to stretch it longer than Will Power. Other drivers on the same strategy as Kara wound up being teammate Kasey Kahne and number 80 Clyde Coker. Kara gets by Kasey Kahne for 2nd, as we have a car blowing up on the front straight. However, there is no caution to come out, and the race continues to stay green. Her last hurdle is Clyde Coker, who's leading with 12 laps to go. Does Clyde have enough fuel to stretch it out? With 4 laps to go, it's looking like Clyde might have enough fuel to make it. However, Kara has a faster car and passes him for the lead. In the meantime, Will Power, who pitted with 20 laps to go, is having to charge through the field. All the other cars that hadn't come into pit are much slower, and he's blowing through at a rapid pace. In 10th place with 4 laps to go, he starts passing other cars that are dropping like flies. And with 2 laps to go, he's now into the top 5. About to pass Tyler for 4th. Kasey Kahne and Clyde Coker both had to pit with a couple laps to go. The lead is currently Kara, and it's her race to win at this point. Monty Shangle's running 2nd, and Will Power's charging up in 3rd at the moment. The cars are so much slower right now because they're trying to stretch it with limited fuel and very old tires. Will Power, on the other hand, has fresher tires and doesn't have any reason to slow down for fuel. Willpower gets by Monty for second. However, he doesn't have enough to get by Kara for the win, as Kara cruises through for her first victory of the series. It only took her about 10 races, and she's been consistent as all hell, but she definitely pulled this one out of the rabbit. Or pulled the rabbit out of the hat, something like that to a degree. I'll get updated point standings and post it later, but as for now, it's just nice to not see Willpower win another race.